From the Blaze. Mysterious symptoms reportedly strike about 20 attendees of Trump rally campaign investigating possible chemical attack. They say attendees at a Trump rally in Tucson, Arizona reportedly experienced mysterious symptoms suspected of being a chemical attack. The incident was reported in the independent news outlet, the Arizona Globe. The report says that about 20 people in the Latinos for Trump group who appeared on stage experienced the symptoms shortly after the rally ended. Alarmingly, the group appeared on the side of the stage where former President Donald Trump made his entry to the rally. Among the symptoms of the affected members, reported to the Arizona Globe, were blurred vision, facial swelling, severe eye pain, which appeared about 30 minutes after the rally ended. Some self-treated with milk before seeking treatment at a hospital. Another said his face turned red and experienced peeling. When they went to the hospital, they were told by staff that others from the rally were there seeking treatment. One person was told by a doctor that she was suffering from a chemical burn after the doctor performed a dye test. That person still suffered from light sensitivity and blurry vision days later. Christy Kelly, the reporter who broke the story at the Amazon Globe, gave an exclusive comment to The Blaze, providing more details, saying, "I personally spoke to at least 8 Latino Trump supporters who were affected at the Tucson rally. They are passionate patriots, deeply concerned about President Trump's continued well-being and their own recovery, and are demanding a thorough investigation into what happened at the event. The injuries they experienced vary, but the people I spoke to all sought medical treatment afterward. I have reviewed 2 medical reports that confirm these injuries, and the attendees are united in their desire for accountability from the venue. Despite their personal health struggles, their focus remains on supporting former President Donald Trump." Now, right away, I'll just say this. I think the most diehard Trump supporters are going to suspect there was some foul play. Someone's trying to target Donald Trump. We're looking at 2 assassination attempts now. I don't think that's completely unreasonable. I do think it's also fair to point out, this sounds like it could be UV, facial swelling, peeling, turning red, blurry vision. Could this be like ultraviolet light? They were standing there and it was burning their faces and skin. Some people reported runny noses. I don't know.
Was it out? Did they say it was an outdoor rally?
I think it was indoor.
Okay. He's been doing most of his rallies indoors since the first assassination attempt.
Yeah.
It's odd to me, and I don't want to, create panic. We obviously don't know what's going on. It does seem like the reporter who broke the story is doing the best they can to make sure they're fact checking. It creeps me out that during the debate, Kamala Harris was like, "No one goes to the rallies. The rallies are bad." Like, there is this sort of anti-Trump rally sentiment coming, and maybe this is sort of another aspect of like they don't want people to see Trump speak in person because he is captivating, because he is charismatic. And so if there are rumors that there are injuries or dangers or whatever, they're hoping that will deter people from turning out for him.
Yeah, I'll say that if this story was popping up 2 months ago, I would be pretty sure that something happened and it wasn't a deliberate attack. But living in a world where they've tried to kill Trump twice now, you can't dismiss anything like this. And, we were talking off air a little bit, just the simple fact that the last assassination attempt was on Sunday, and now it's, Thursday now? And it's like it might as well have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The news has completely moved on. And it's like, if this did turn out to be an actual chemical attack against Trump supporters, that's another one. That should be the only thing we're talking about for the next month. But that story would last about 24 hours, and then the media would bury it. The
fact that this story isn't breaking news on every cable channel. 20 attendees are experiencing facial swelling, blurred vision. One woman reported that she was blinded for days. How is this not the lead story? I mean, also, couldn't MSNBC be running this as an anti-Trump story, being like Trump doesn't take care of his attendees? I mean, the reality is the story is too in the direction of someone is attacking Donald Trump and his supporters. And even if the left tried to paint this as the venue screwed up and it's, Trump is stupid or whatever, it still sounds too much like there's a bunch of bad things and violence directed towards the right, not the left.
Which they don't want Trump to seem sympathetic at all, so they can't talk about anything that happens. They can't talk about the effects on the rally goers, and they can't talk about the assassination attempt. I mean, really, we were still talking about the Butler assassination attempt at this point in the week in July, but instead, with the second attempt, they're saying, well, does it even really count? The potential shooter didn't fire off a round. Let's just stop talking about it. They gave more airtime to Donald Trump saying they're eating the dogs than they did to the second assassination attempt of a former president. That's crazy to me.
I do love that we're qualifying assassination attempts now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, how close did he really get?
The guy just had a gun and was on the golf course. I mean, what do you guys want us to do?
I mean, the scary thing about the second attempt is this guy was a moron. and if he was in any way slightly smarter.
Yeah.
So he stuck the barrel of his SKS through the fence, and the Secret Service, this is what I understand to have happened, they saw the barrel sticking out, and the reporting was they're trained to look for straight objects in trees because trees are not straight objects. If he had pulled back in the tree line and kept the barrel of his weapon hidden, concealed, I don't know if they would have stopped. They would have caught him. They didn't do a perimeter sweep. Either way, I'll say this. The fact that when the first assassination happened, it wasn't every radio station in the country, every television channel said, ladies and gentlemen, the former president has been shot. He is okay. The bullet only grazed him. Nobody cared. Nobody even knew it happened for, like, some people didn't hear about it until a day or two later.
Yeah, it should. For me, it's one of those moments that you'll always remember where you were when you heard, because I distinctly remember, because we were on vacation, I was out fishing, and my wife came out and told me, and it's like, it should be one of those moments. It's just one of those moments in American history that you remember for the rest of your life. But of course, the media doesn't want that. And the other thing too, that one of the reasons why they want to bury this stuff is that, and I was thinking about this when I was watching Trump on Gutfeld yesterday, which, by the way, is like, even his ability to sit in that environment and just kind of talk to people in a really casual way completely separates him from Kamala. Kamala could never do that. But it just this guy has real physical courage in a way that we never see from politicians anymore. If that were me and I was doing some YAF event and I got shot, I don't think I'd be out 2 months later doing another one. And if I got shot again,
two days later,
almost shot again. Yeah.
Right. Trump shows up at the RNC with a patch on his ear, his family too. And my attitude was like, Mr. President, take a day off. We're cool. Like, it's all right. You know, you took a bullet to the ear, people died, but his kid, the Trump family and Trump himself were still there. And on the Gutfeld point, there was a great moment in Gutfeld where he asks him, tell me something that, you know, like a fact people don't know about you. And then Trump laughs and says, oh, we don't need any scandals right now. You know, we're trying to win an election. We're up in the polls. Let's not, he's having, it sounds real. And this is the meme of, like, you know, they make these movies and these tropes where a comedian who becomes president because he talks like a regular guy. And then when Trump does it, they're screeching that he's a Nazi, that he's a fascist, that he's evil. They try to kill him twice. And by they, I mean anti-Trump individuals. I'm not implying there's a specific group of people controlling things or whatever. But there are psychotic individuals.
Although it could be a specific group. Who knows?
I was going to say, the weird thing about the second assassination attempt is how tied into this freak of an individual was in pretty senior Ukrainian groups.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's...
Yeah. He's not just a random guy. He is someone with a specific political bent.
Yeah, and one who seems to, I'm not, assuming there's a conspiracy here, but one who had, like, access to Democratic politicians in the U.S. and was going to Ukraine pretty frequently. It's just bizarre how close some of these psychos are to...
I mean, why aren't you assuming conspiracy theories?
Well, because I try not to get sued.
That's a good reason to do it.
Fair enough.
No, I mean, what conspiracy theory on the assassinations is there to entertain, right? I don't think that anything we would reasonably discern from the second assassination attempt could warrant what we described as a conspiracy theory. So, of course, I said on my show when this happens, you've got a guy who reportedly has a Ukrainian service contract. We don't know if it's for him or someone else. But according to Semaphore, he has actually sought to recruit individuals to join the International Volunteer Coalition in Ukraine. That being said, if this guy has fought in Ukraine, according to Newsweek, according to Semaphore, was recruiting, we absolutely must investigate possible Ukrainian official capacity in the attempt. And that is not to say I believe Ukraine was involved. It's to say that any reasonable person would at least say, well, okay, this is where the guy was coming from. How does he travel? Where does he get the money for these weapons? Why don't we go and ask? And here's the funny thing. I get these liberal journalists being like, oh, he's pushing conspiracy theories, anti-Ukraine, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, journalists actually asked Ukrainian officials this exact question. And they responded with, we don't know this guy, we disavow. So my question wasn't even unreasonable.
I didn't read into this too deeply, but wasn't the guy also known for getting into armed standoffs with local police?
He had 2 previous convictions, and one was for possession of weapons of mass destruction. I mean, I think
like
the issue is that he is... you're trying to blind us with your flashlight over there? You need more attention? The movie's not enough?
He was trying to tell me in a professional way, and I just...
That's okay.
He was like,
ruined it.
these hand gestures mean nothing to me.
He's a big star now. He doesn't need your hand gestures. No, I mean, I think the reality is we are going to get as little information about this second person who plotted to kill President Trump as the media and whatever government agencies can possibly give us, right? They'll give us something to say, well, we're not incompetent, but they do not want to talk about any potential connection to a foreign government, any sort of political motive. And I think that only increases American distrust in these institutions that are saying, no, the FBI today was saying, we're devoting all of our resources to investigating this.
Yeah. Well, what I would say about that is it's perfectly possible there are conspiracies for both of these things, or they're connected. I mean, who knows? We can't dismiss any of that. But also, it's also true that Trump's enemies are setting up a situation where you would expect random people to start trying to shoot him. I mean, this is what happens when you relentlessly propagandize and tell the American public for like 10 years that this guy is Hitler incarnate. He's a dictator. He wants to destroy democracy. He's a danger and a threat to the whole world. So when you say that about somebody relentlessly for a decade, this is exactly what happens. It's exactly what you would expect.
The left calls that stochastic terrorism.
Right. That's but only
they
what
came up with a name for their own actions.
That's right,
Exactly,
indeed.
yeah.
A thing that we don't see happening in the other direction. Elon Musk is actually he's getting. I don't know if you guys heard this. He's being probed. That's the word they like to use. He's being probed.
It's uncomfortable.
we don't have
Makes
to
me
use that word, though.
uncomfortable.
Investigated.
Let's use that. Yeah.
They said FBI launches probe into Elon Musk because he tweeted something like, no one's trying to assassinate Biden or Kamala. He deleted it, said it was a joke. I don't think he should have said it was a joke because it wasn't. I think the point he was making is that as crazy as things are, you've got people like Whoopi Goldberg saying it's just one side, it's Trump. You've got the media saying Trump's a threat to democracy. And he's like, yeah, but they're only trying, like, there's no right-wingers going after Kamala or Biden.
Right.
Like, heaven forbid, we don't want any of that to happen. We don't want Trump to be targeted. I don't want Biden or Kamala or anybody to be attacked in this way. But Elon's point, I think, is apt.
Yep, the people with all the guns are not taking shots at, it's...
Right.
And you would think the politicians that are also being protected by Secret Service, aka Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, would say, we really want this agency to function well. We're going to talk about this nonstop until people feel like it is a trustworthy institution. Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.